I'm Ben the broker with Compass. We have a Monday Marin market update for you guys. So we track Monday through Sunday. So we're starting with Monday the 17th going through Sunday the 23rd. Yesterday the 24th and today the 25th. We've seen a decent amount of new inventory come on the market. So we're excluding that new inventory for this week. So first, I want to touch on the solds because I think that's really important to see what's actually happening in the market, not just what the listings are, not just how quickly they go into contract, but to see the actual evidence, the results. So the first thing I wanted to mention is 57 Malay Place in Mill Valley on the side that's closest to Highway 101, Richardson Bay. That was priced at 1,395, just under 1,400. I thought that was going to sell around 1,500, 1,550. Well, the seller received 15 offers and it closed for 1.7 million. That winning offer was all cash. But what caught my attention about that property is it was a great location. It was an okay house. It needed updating. And so buyers are going for location first, and then they're willing to take on a project. And the fact that we have inventory in Marin, Southern Marin, at 1.7 million, that commands 15 offers, or 1.4 million, which was the starting list price, and getting 15 offers, that is extremely good news for the market's health, in the sense that we don't just have, necessarily one unicorn buyer paying top dollar, but we have 14 other buyers out there who want to buy a good house for their family in a great location, even if it needs work, for at least 1.4 million in Mill Valley. So if you're a seller, there's 14 other buyers just on that listing who could be interested in your house if you prepare it and you price it aggressively. 78 Pizarro in Bayside in Hamilton, South Novato. This was listed for $895,000. The seller received 2 offers in the first day on market, and it sold for $1,025,000. Sold for $130,000 above list price, and sold immediately without full marketing exposure. And that was an all-cash buyer as well. So, buyers are being aggressive. They're stepping up as fast as possible. They're not necessarily waiting for an offer review date, and they're making sure that they secure the property rather than, play around and miss out on it. And then 40 Driftwood Court. The reason I like to mention this one, even though it sold for about $16,000 above list price, is that this was on at the end of last year, 2019. It was on the market for 39 days at 1.2 million, just slightly higher than 1.7. And it sat for 39 days the end of last year, comes on the market this year, $30,000 less, gets 2 offers in the first 2 weeks on market, sells for $16,000 more. One person could say that it was priced incorrectly last year at 1.2, but let's be real. Last year, if it was worth $30,000 less, it would have sold. So this is all about the market. And I put in a box down here that timing is everything, because it really is. You could have a buyer in town from out of town who needs to find a home that weekend. You could have a buyer completing a 1031 exchange, and they need to find a replacement property, and their 180-day timeline is coming to an end, or I should say 45-day identification period is coming to an end, because they have 180 days to close. And you may have someone who had a natural disaster, a fire. That we saw a big turnaround from the Sonoma County Santa Rosa fires a couple years ago, where people were coming into Marin and they were paying big bucks to secure properties while they were collecting insurance claims, just so they could have a good home for their family to live. And then to talk about the new listings, so last week we didn't see a ton of new inventory in Marin, and I credit that to the ski week for the majority of the public schools. Ski week is kind of the 1 week break between winter break and spring break. So we only had 38 new listings last week. And anytime we do this presentation, we're referencing houses, not condos. And $1 million or less. Of those 38 new listings, only 11 were what we would call, affordability in Marin County. 8 of those new listings were between 1 and 1.5. 5 new listings between 1.5 and 2. 5 new listings between 2 and 2.5. 1 new listing between 2.5 and 3. And 6 new listings at $3 million plus. So when people, end of last year, I heard people saying the market is softening, the market is slowing down. And I think what it comes down to is if you look at primarily these first 2 categories, and in some locations, even these next 2 categories, but the inventory up to 1.5, if that's in a good school district and it's dialed in, that's flying off the shelves. Your multiple offers just about guaranteed, and I don't believe in guarantees. And then if you're in Southern Marin, Nevada, Tiburon, Sausalito, Mill Valley, Corte Madera, Larkspur, Kentfield, great school districts, easy commute, and you're even up to 2.5, if it's a good house, you will see multiple offers. But the inventory that's sitting is the $3 million plus. So people say, oh, price reduction here, price reduction here. But at the high end, there's less buyers who need a more expensive house, and more expensive houses are normally bigger houses. So it would make sense that a lot of the high-end inventory would take longer to be absorbed by the marketplace. So it's really interesting to see here how few listings there are at $1 million or less. And if you just track this inventory, I think that the $1 million house by the end of this year is really going to be a 1-1 house with the way that buyers are competing in the marketplace, driving prices higher. So I'm excited to see what comes on the market this week as a result of, having that 1 week ski week break. Excited to be out this weekend hosting open houses at new, fresh listings and seeing the buyers' reactions, seeing what they think of the marketplace. We'll be in touch throughout the week. And if you guys have any questions, just feel free to email me at ben.faber@compass.com. Thanks, guys.